Hi and welcome to Builders Banter Podcast with me, Stuart, from SM Home Improvements and Maintenance. We're based down in Herefordshire, where we cover plumbing, gas, bathrooms and kitchen installation, and all your general inquiries. Today is episode 4, so we're going strong. We're still going. People are still watching, which is good. Thank you very much. And today I've been privileged to have 3 people with me today that have been so kindly to give up their time. And hopefully they will enjoy it. We'll soon find out. Obviously, if they're not here for the challenge by the end, it's because they've done a runner. But we'll see what happens. And I'll let everybody introduce themselves. So if everybody wants to introduce themselves and tell everybody where you're from, what you do, where you can be found, and what you offer. So I'll start with, on my left, on my right. Might as well start with Phil. Looking at the screens, is it my right? So off you go, Phil.
My name's Phil, from TKO Kitchens, Bathrooms and Construction. We're based over in Manchester and cover the whole of the Northwest. Pretty much does what we said on the tin. We design, supply and install kitchens and bathrooms, and we cover all sorts of structural aspects on the construction side.
Sweet.
Perfect.
Right,
excellent. Thanks for having me on, Stuart. So I'm Jessie from All Solar Works. We're based down in Worthing. We cover all solar and battery installs.
That's awesome. Sweet.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us on, Dane Stuart. So my name's Ash from AF Bathroom Heating. I'm based down in Plymouth in Devon, just on the border of Cornwall. So a bit of a journey up for me each time. We cover all heating, boilers, bathrooms, kitchens, project managing throughout the projects and house renovations we've currently got on at the moment. You can find us on all social media, and our contact details are on our website.
Excellent. Do you want to say what your website is?
So it's afbathroomandheating.co.uk.
Jesse?
Allsolarworks.com.
Mine is info@smhi.co.uk. Phil?
Kitchensincheshire.co.uk.
There we go. That's the intro's done. So we're going to get straight into the first clip for the show. As you know by now, we run a clip at the beginning and a clip at the end. This one is quite good. I found this one quite a while ago and it took me some finding to get it back. So as you can all remember, years ago, we always used to have the scaffolders at the top of the scaffold, whistling at the ladies, going, hey, get your old boobies out. So this is their revenge, and these ladies have given it back to the blokes. So enjoy.
Dinosaurs aren't extinct.
No?
Dinosaurs are birds. Birds are everywhere.
Speaking of birds, get yourself over here.
Oh,
all right, love. You're like a chocolate bar. You are half sweet, half nuts.
what's his problem?
Reggie's probably gay. Best thing to do here in these situations. Got a wolf whistle. Wolf whistle.
Right.
Like. Oh, that's impressive.
Thanks, isn't it?
Yeah. They look around. They're like, oh God, where did that come from? And you're like, boom! Eye contact.
Right.
Get a load of this. Look at this package. Yeah, go on. All right, let's have a look at this. Sausage! That's what I need! Got a hole you can put that sausage in! My favourite meal! Get in my knickers! Oh, God, it's coming up. It's never worked before! Don't look him in the eye! Stuff! Right, look busy. Look strong. We're really strong. Right. God, is he looking? I don't know. Is he watching? Don't make eye contact. Look.
So I hope everybody enjoyed that clip. Like I said, it took me a while to find out. I'd seen it yonks ago, but it tickles me, it does. Fair play to the girls. Well done for handling it back and giving us blokes a bit of grief. I'm sure it's well deserved. But to start on the subjects, I'm going to try and touch on apprentices. So it seems to be a thing where at the minute we're in massive demand or short of labour forces and trades coming up through. And even though there's a big push for apprenticeships and that many years ago, it seems to be dying down. The youngsters don't seem to want to be coming in the trade, is the impression that I get. So let's have a chat, see what you think. Has anybody taken on any apprentices or had any experience with apprentices?
Yeah, I've had a few experiences with apprentices. Not all good. Mostly not good.
No, yeah, and me.
But I also spoke to the head of construction at the local college we're at, and just kind of queried what was going on really. And there's obviously no kids coming through. There's a handful of kids, but not for the trade. They're in because they've been pushed in or because they can't do nothing else.
Yeah.
He spoke to them and other people coming through out of school, and it's basically, I want to sit there, do a YouTube or be a TikToker and watch this, do that.
Yeah, there's a lot more of that about now, though, isn't it? It's all about being an influencer.
Yeah.
Or a podcaster by all accounts.
Or a podcaster. One of them being a podcaster. But yeah, so it seems to be a general consensus across, well, I'd have said certainly across the UK.
I think it's just the whole social media aspect of everything, isn't it? You know, it gives off the false life of what you can earn, what you can do, and they don't see the background work that you have to put in.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because you get, it's like anything in it. You get the ones that do achieve success, and then it's all of a sudden, oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
But you might only get one out of 1,000. I don't know what the ratio would be, but it's something like that actually might earn money by doing influencing or that type of thing.
That's it.
Yeah,
my boys were at one point, oh yeah, we want to work for you, Dad. And now they're like, no, we want to be YouTubers. And to be fair, they've got more followers than me on that. They're brilliant at it. Terrible. Get in front of the camera, I'm like, blah, blah, blah. They're just amazing.
Yeah,
so.
no, it's mad, isn't it? I know, it's almost the looking for the easy way, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the apprentices, all the kids, they sit there on the phone, don't they? So whether that's watching YouTube TikToks or playing games or on Bet365 gambling their money away, whatever it may be.
Bet635.
On the lunch break, he's sat there for
I don't know how we stand about naming that one.
Oh yeah, cool.
They got more money than me, don't they? It's on a lawsuit.
Promotion.
Yeah.
Anybody in the construction at the moment that's got half a brain cell, he's getting out the country and moving abroad where we've got better income, better prospects, better lifestyle, more affordability in life. And from an apprentice point of view, they need to be bringing this into the mainstream schooling sector now, into year 10 and 11 and pushing the children, because kids are getting phones at 8, 9 years of age. They're doom scrolling at 10, just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And their minds are being locked into this world of social media. Okay, we might be sat here doing a podcast now, but we're doing it for a purpose, not to doom scroll and get a dopamine hit. Do you know what I mean? So did the government need to do something to keep the construction industry going in this country? They've got to start bringing something into the schools, because as you say, we're just not getting those kids going into college no more. There's just nobody wants to be in the game.
Because I don't know, you can tell me different. I don't know if, because when I was at school, you had design and technology, or I think they used to call it. But when we first started, you actually had a carpentry class, and then you had like a design technology side of it, which was working with more arts and crafts. So you'd be working with like plastics and resin products and making and moulding stuff, and that was good, because as I find, you might have a different idea, but I find not all trade people that are in the trade are academic people.
No,
they're hands-on people.
They're correct,
and they're grafters. And I'm the same, because that's the way I look at it. I was an academic,
right.
I left school with nothing really, but I was good with my hands. Yeah. So, and that's just the way it worked. And I think, like you were saying, you were saying that people are pushed in to courses or college because they might not be academically clever. So they get pushed that way because that's almost the natural way for them to go, whether they want to do it or not.
Yeah. Go on, boys, or go on, kid, go get a trade. Go be a plumber. Everyone needs a plumber. Go do this, and that's what you find is people's been pushed into. Just get a trade. We'll get a trade.
Yeah.
Why do you want to be here? My mum said it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
You don't have that motivation of going. Well, I've studied, I've researched. I've been taught 2 years at school of trades and constructions and different side of businesses. This is what I want to do. This is where I am. I'm up for it. and that's what you miss, is that fire from the kids.
Yeah. It's hard though, isn't it, at a young age to know what you want to do anyway.
Ah, absolutely.
I know I didn't.
No.
I went into, I used to be a mechanic before I come into the building industry. And I only did that because my mate did it. Because I knew I was going to leave school with no technical qualifications that were, where they should we say. They got letters on them, let's just say that. Not the top 3, but there was letters on them. So I only knew that tech college was my only option of going anywhere further.
I think, Stu, I think the way they've changed the qualification basis now in college it's crap, to be fair. So, for example, my lad's just been and done 3 years doing his T-levels, okay? So you come out with 3 A-levels. To be fair, his results coming today, dead proud. He ended up getting a merit. He did better than what he expected. But they're teaching theory. So he did plastering. He's come out onto site with me, and he can do small sections. Are you with me? But for somebody that's just coming out of a T-level that isn't working alongside that, they haven't got the physical skills to do the job. They might have it up here, but say for on a plastering course, they're not teaching them how to mix.
No.
The teachers are doing it for him. In 3 years, he's mixed twice in a bucket.
Yeah, because that's
he asked me for he asked me for a measuring jug.
Yeah.
to put the water in. I'm like, what have they been teaching? What's the country doing?
You want that year 1, don't you? And end of year 1, you need to make the mix.
To me, and this is the way I see it, especially for plastering, it's to drag it out over multiple years is just ridiculous. Unless they're starting to specialise into Venetian plastering, and they're doing lime and sand render. They're doing I forgot the other bloody bugger, K-rend. I don't see it, because for me, I didn't go off and learn it. I learned it on site.
Slap it on the wall. Somebody comes up and follows you behind.
I learnt off a bloke who used to work for us many years ago. Colin, he couldn't read or write. This is what he was like. So he was the same bloke, but worked in the building all his life. But I tell you what, he could plaster, rendering and plaster. He could do anything. So we was on a big job, and I just said, look, I want to learn to do this. What do I do? And I remember having to learn. Then this is how far I go back. I was mixing buckets of plaster with a batten because we didn't have whisks on a drill. And and I used a piece of 2B1 batten that had been used that much. It was smooth, like sanded that like, But I tell you, you knew you mixed it. Bloody hell, did you know?
Yeah, that's it.
I wouldn't even dream of doing it now.
No,
but and you learn and pick it up as you do it. So for them to drag it out for so long, because the quicker you're on site, the quicker you're going to learn that trade.
100%.
Because at the end of the day, the theoretical or the theory behind it, the way I look at it, not that I'm putting it down because plastering is a skill, isn't that big.
No.
It's all hands-on experience.
Of course it is.
And unless you're dealing with it, you don't know. Because the minute you're dealing with multiple surfaces on walls, you're going to be wanting to know what you're going to be priming it with, what's going to dry with that. Is it going to be drying at different times? So are you going to be using a blue grit, green grit, SBR, PVA, watered down?
They can't teach you that on a whiteboard. That's
they can't
for sure.
teach you that. So
or a digital board, to be politically correct now.
So it's from that aspect, it's almost that they've cut him short really on his education, where to me, I think personally, with probably 2 days, you could cut plastering down as a theory. I know they overkill it because health and safety bollocks, but and then literally just get him straight in. There's some water, there's some skim, get whisking.
Yeah.
And then literally
So I
go,
can see
right,
it, innit? Just
what's
learn.
wong with that? You try,
We had an hard day on Monday, trust me, I thought right.
Aching by the end of it.
But I think that's they get bored as well, don't they? My apprentice, he's come up to the end of his year 2. He's been waiting to do his exams. Year 3's been in the practical side, so they haven't been able to do the practical assessments in the bays because year 3's been in there. And then it's like they lose the motivation. They go in each week. And so it went on for about 5 weeks, I think, going in each week. Yeah, we're going to do practical today. We're going to do practical today. And it don't come round. And then you lose that motivation. It's like dragging out plastering for 3 years. It ruins it. And it all comes round in the circle again, back to the education, really, doesn't it?
I think they need to increase the financial incentive as well. Because it's all good and well, the college will go, or whichever council it is will say, well, we'll give you 3 or 4 grand towards your apprentice. Well, that's great, but you're paying them peanuts. At the end of the week, it's miles below minimum wage. And you wonder why they go get a job at B&M or Aldi at something at £10.50 an hour stacking shelves. Well, if you're only going to come out with 160 quid a week, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Where's the incentivisation?
But
you can earn 40 grand in 2-3 years.
Yeah.
What do I do now?
But I know I've been caught out. Well, I've been caught out twice with apprentices from college, with financials side of things, because they've been. I've been approached, and these were plumbing apprentices, both of them, and their college approached me and sort of said, "Oh, we've got 2 lads, you know, not 2 lads. We'll start off with 1 lad, and they're really good lads, you know, blah blah blah. Big them up. Any chance you can take them on as an apprentice so they can fulfill their practical side of their portfolio, so they get the second part of the paperwork." I went, yeah, no problem. We're covering all the work they need to be doing. That's no problem at all. Oh yeah, and we'll get it funded for you, so you haven't got to pay. I said, all right, okay, because it was already part way through the year and they hadn't quite got in when they should have done, so the money was reduced straight away. So they said, oh, we'll get 1,600 quid back for you, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I said, all right, okay, I'll give them a shot. I'll run with it for 12 months, you know. I've got nothing to lose. And then, of course, long story short, they were fucking useless. And I've had to go back to the college and say, look, what's happening? Because what am I supposed to... I can't work with this. This is, you know, like you say, you can't teach stupid.
No.
And... they've gone, oh, well, actually, we can't even give you the money now. You're going to have to pay for his training. And I went, no.
No way.
That's not happening. They said, well, that's what it is. I said, no, it's not. I said, to start with, you were telling me you were going to give me 1,600 quid towards the cost. I said, which was fair enough. I said, but I'm not paying for that.
No.
I said, I can't. I said, he doesn't listen. He doesn't do anything. It's just the body's there, you know, the lights are on, but nobody's home scenario.
I think you've just touched again on another subject of incentivisation again. So the money's not there for the kids, but as you said, they offered you 1,600 quid. What's that? It's 100 hours. It's three weeks worth of work.
Yeah.
What do you do for the other 47, 48 weeks of the year?
Yeah.
It's like, if the government are that fussed about keeping construction going in this country, they need to do something for the employer and employee.
But what I found out after was they're not. Well, this is the way it come across is, and I'm not saying all colleges and are like this. It's just the one I was dealing with. It come across that they didn't mind because they got their money. The government had paid their money because when they sign to start the course, they get the funding from the government. So as far as they were concerned, they were happy anyway. Yeah. But then it was the part of parcel is they were supposed to be helping the employers take on some of the financial burden.
That's it, yeah. So if they're over 18, isn't it?
As the incentive to get the apprenticeships running.
Yeah. They've done away with that now.
But it didn't work like that.
No. So if they're over 18, you've got to pay for it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Towards it now.
Yeah.
Mental.
It used to be anything under the age of 21, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You could stay in full-time education.
Yeah.
And then after 25, you could go back into education.
Yeah.
But they've scrapped all that as well, so...
Yeah,
country's on its knees, not just in the construction game.
No.
Just in general.
Just in general.
I think that's another podcast all by itself.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is.
Look out, Phil will be on that one by himself.
No rioting there, though.
No. But, so obviously, talking of apprentices, obviously I've had a couple, and... we had one called Wet White Will. I ended up calling him. We're going into nicknames later. We'll cover that. Because every 30 seconds he kept using a wipe, you know, Wonder Wipes or big wipes. We always got them on the van. And it was literally, he'd do something, get another one out, rub his hands, clean his hands. Then he'd do something else, get another one out. And he was going through literally like a tub every couple of days. So, of course, you know, it was like, what the hell? Where's all these wipes going? Of course, we realised what was going on then, you know. So we started calling him Wet White Will. So it sort of stuck. And like I say, he wanted to be a plumber, and he was a little shy, but he was a nice enough lad. And we had a scenario where I give him the option, because I try and put him in a position where they got to think on what they're doing. Even if it's simple plumbing works, you know, I'll stand there and I'll go, right, I'm your skivvy. You tell me what you want, and I'll go and get the products, and I'll bring it to you, and then you do the job. I'll stand here if you want me to, or I'll leave you to it, and just you think what you got to do. So I don't tell them what they want to do. I want them to try and think for themselves, try and think the process of what they want to do. So we stood at this particular one. We stood at moving some pipework for a kitchen, just moving it over for the sink location, and it was only moving over probably about 1.5 meters, hot and cold over, nothing major. So I said, right, what we've got to do, we've marked it up on the wall, so this is the sink unit's going here, all right? He said, yeah. So you need to get these hot and cold feeds over to here, all right? Yeah, okay. All right, I'll leave you alone, I'll crack on. And you get, you know where the van is, the bits are in the van, you help yourself, you like that. Yeah, okay. I come back 15 minutes later, and he still stood there looking at the wall. I thought, that's a bit odd. So I said to the Sparky outside, I said, is he all right, like? And he said, he hasn't moved. I said, what? He said, honestly? He said, yeah, all he's done is look at the wall. So I said, you're right, Will. You know? Yeah. Okay. What have I got to do again?
Oh my gosh.
I went, oh, okay. So we've got to move these pipes here, extend them across, and put them up there. All right? Yeah. I said, are you sure you get it? You get it? You know, it's quite simple. Yeah. So I go off. Only about 5 minutes this time, and he went round, talked to somebody else, come back, and he still stood there. And I said, what's the problem, Will? I said, well, why haven't you done anything now? Well, I don't know what I want. And I just went, are you fucking joking me? Are you literally, are you yanking my fucking chain? I said, how long have you been doing a plumbing course? Oh, about 10 months. I said, right. Wow. So all we're doing is extending the pipe across. So what do we need? What do we need? And I was like, you can't, you know, it's in the clues in the phrase, what do we need? And he went, I said, do we need some pipe? I thought, I don't know if I can almost spell it out. I said, do we need some pipe? Yeah, we need some pipe. Right, what size pipe do we want? That's 15 mil, innit, I think. And I went, what do you mean you think? Is it 15 or is it not? Yeah, it's 15. I said, right, okay. Right, what else do we need? Well, I thought, I could probably need some fittings, really, wouldn't I? And I just went, yeah. What fittings do we need? I said, you tell me and I'll go and get it. Probably need some elbows. And it was like, fuck me.
Yeah.
Just drawing teeth. I said, I tell you what, go and speak to the Sparky round the corner and see if he's got something for you to do. I'll go and grab it myself. And I ended up doing myself.
Yeah.
Because by this point, we'd probably dragged an hour out. Yeah. Technically, he should have been done by, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
And I was just like, there's nothing like going,
no.
Woo,
yeah, lights are on, but nobody's at home again.
You know. And it was just that situation. Like,
I do think it clicks. You know, you get to a certain age, and then like, kind of work clicks. You realise that actually I need to kind of sort myself out here a bit. And
if I told you he was 21, would that make any difference?
That's what I was going to say. But there becomes a point where you need to have a basic common knowledge, whether you're 10 months in or even a few months in, to know the size of a pipe and know what you're doing. And you know that's.
But I know that he's covered all of this in college, because they've done all their frame building, multiple fittings, you know, because it's a standard format for plumbing. So I know he's done it, but he was just there, and it just nothing was ticking, like, you know. Yeah. And you like, without trying to be a twat about it, yeah. Well, how much do you have to? Where do you cut it off and go? Come on, mate, you know, you've done this. It's simple stuff. You know what I mean?
Probably too busy getting stoned with his mates at night rather than doing the work that he should be doing.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I've had one when I was, so we're just doing 2 bathroom fans, So I've got in, couldn't do it from outside because it was a conservatory roof, so we'll have to do it from inside. So put the dust sheets down, core hold out, dust everywhere, so we've got the dust sheets. Finished that one, said, right, I'm going upstairs, clean this all up, and I'll meet you up there with the dust sheets. He went, okay, got the dust sheet, just pulled it all off into the bathroom, all over the bath, all over the sink, dust everywhere. I'm like, why have you just done that? And he goes, well, I didn't want to get dust in the house. So then I was like, that makes no sense. And he's like, well, what am I meant to do with all this dust? I was like, well, take it outside, put it into the bin. So then I was like, right, okay, start sweeping it up. I'm going to start on the go upstairs. Come up, core hole in this one, just being a bit of a bitch. So I've been out for a while. Customer taps me on the shoulder. He's like, just let you know, your apprentice is asleep downstairs. And I've like, what? I've gone down there. He's fully laying on the floor, asleep.
No.
What are you doing? He's like, I'm done. I went, and there's dust everywhere still. He's like, I ain't getting any better than that. And I went, you joking? And he flicked dust up at me and he went, I ain't your fucking slave. And I was just like, customer stood behind me and I'm biting my tongue. I went, all right, I'll do it. Like that, just sweeping it all up. And I'm like, fucking hell. And
You get to that phase where you just go,
yeah,
I'll just do it me fucking self.
Yeah, it was.
Is this easy?
Yeah. And I was sitting there going, is that getting better? And he went,
yeah.
I suppose so.
I've had similar ones with blokes working about, they turn around and they've swept up.
Yeah.
And it looks as bad as when it started. And you go, are you sure you swept up and tied? Yeah, I've done it.
Yeah.
And then you go and you're like, fucking, I'm going to have to sweep this again at least.
Oh, no.
It's like, house is a shithole anyway, don't matter, does it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've had that one a couple of times, yeah.
You're supposed to leave the house cleaner than when you went in. And if you get these young'uns, they just don't understand.
No.
They've just got no understanding. I mean, we were made to clean our rooms as a kid. We were made to put the pots away, do our washing. I'm sure these kids just get a free rein at home nowadays.
My apprentice
do.
is 20 in a couple of days, and he relies on his mum for lifts everywhere. He had a car ready off within a month. You know, so he's got no vehicle, he's got no responsibilities. He's nearly 20, and he just gets mummy toddled. So and you wonder, and you know, in work it's always the quickest, easiest way possible. You know, we say to him this week, I'd say you need to go and rip out the loft tanks and do this, do that. Radiators turn up. So Matt turned up and he's jumped on the radiators. He said, well, have you done everything else? Well, no, but radiators were here. I want to do the plumbing. Like, well, yeah, but you need to do the other stuff as well.
Yeah,
you know? You can't just do the plumbing all the time. You've got to learn to do a bit of the shit. And it's not
that's
shit,
it.
It's general day-to-day
Yeah.
Job's a job.
Yeah.
Because I have that conversation when I take on for blokes, because we're probably like similar to you, ourselves, multi-trade really.
Yeah.
Apart from you. Almighty one. So I always, you know, whenever I'm interviewing, I always say to them, look, your trade is your trade, but when you're not doing that role, you will be doing other roles, whether it be helping somebody out, whether it be sweeping, tidying, whether it be plasterboarding, whether it be anything, you know, that's the job. Otherwise, you know, if you only want to do plumbing, you're working for the wrong company.
Yeah, that's it.
If you only want to do plumbing, go and get a job on site where all you do day in is day out is exactly the same thing. I said, but we don't work like that, because I couldn't think of anything more boring for me personally.
Yeah, that's it.
That's just my way.
You like to keep busy, innit?
I like variety and doing different things. That's why I become traded, like, you know. So it's just, and then, you know, usually they're all right, but it will work out the weak ones sometimes, because they'll start going, oh, I was supposed to be a plumber, what am I doing this for, you know? And you go, well, remember when you spoke about it at the beginning? This is part of the role. If
Sounds like an electrician, that.
Suits them, innit?
But it's, you know, funny enough, that one that give up because he was doing a bit of labouring, actually went to work for British Gas now. I don't know why that is. But, easy life, I expect. You know? But yeah, I've had one good one I had with old Wet White Will again, just to come back into him. He's grown up now, I expect. Don't know what he's doing. Probably working OnlyFans. He's probably called flipping something else now, I expect.
Still probably Wet White Will.
Yeah.
Probably Willie's wet wipe now.
We'll have to check that on OnlyFans if that comes up as Wet White Will, won't we? But he was, we got him, I wanted him to do a cold feed connection for an electric shower. We'd put the pipe already in, and I wanted him just to make the connection up in the loft space. So again, the same situation. I put him in. I said, right, well, you get up there. You tell me what you want to save you and trying to climb through the loft. Tell me what you want, and I'll bend the pipe and I'll pass it over to you, and you solder it up. And blah blah blah. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. So we get the step ladder out. Because we haven't got quite ladders, so we've got a real tall step ladder up to the loft hatch, so you can reach in and pretty much pull himself up. Well, he's got to the top of the step ladder, and he's just stopped. And I'm stood there looking at him. What's he stopped for? You know, so I turn around to talk to one of the other lads who's working in the bathroom. And he's still on the top of these fucking steps. And I said to him, are you going to get up in that fucking loft or not? You know, and he went, I'm scared of heights. I said, are you shitting me? I said, you're only 2 foot off the bloody floor. And he went, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm really scared. Yeah. I said, come on, mate, get up in that fucking loft. Right. I said, go. Got him up in there. I said, right, you're up. I said, are you all right? He's bright red in the face, you know. He said, yeah. He's like this, you know. And I said, right, calm down. I said, now, I'm going to tell you now, there's nothing to stand on here, so don't stand on the plasterboard.
Oh, no, here we go. I can see this.
Just stand on the joists. When you get to the other side, there is actually a platform for you to work on. There's already one put in. All right? Do you understand? Yes. You sure? Yeah. Move like that. Foot straight onto the platform. I went, whoa, what are you doing? He said, what? I said, look where your foot is. Oh yeah. I said, you keep to the bloody joists. All right, okay. So he struggles, through round the tank, gets to the platform, and he's like, red-faced. I said, right. I said, now, are you okay? I said, because I'm telling you now, if you do decide to pass out, I ain't coming in there to drag you out. I said, if you pass out, you're there. I said, because there's no way I'm going to be able to climb through there and pull your body out. I said, so are you all right to continue? And he just says, yeah, I'm all right. I said, right, brilliant. What do you need? Right, a bit better this time. I need some pipe, some 15mm pipe. I said, okay.
That's a good start for him.
It's a good start. I said, I said, I've got the pipe, I've got the bender out.
Yeah.
I said, you tell me what you want me to do, and I'll pass it over to you. Say, yeah, right. I said, so what do you want? Oh, can you put a saddle in this bend? I said, yeah, of course I can, no problem. I put a saddle in the pipe. What distance you want the saddle? You know, because I always try and make it right the first time if we can. I said, what measurements you want? Well. I said, well, what are you in a moment for?
Get your tape measure out, lad.
Oh, well, I haven't got it on me. I said, right, okay. I said, well, let's run the scenario, I said to him. So let's pretend that none of us have got a tape, but we've got to work it out. I can see, because I can see across the floor, I can see it's only like 10 mil. It's only a very small, you know. I said, so I can see it's sort of 10 mil. So I said, what do you think it is? I said, just pull the pipe, lie the pipe where the other one's going to be in the elbow, swing it round, and just how far is it off the other pipe coming vertical? Like that it is. I said, well, what do you think it is? I don't know. I said, I think, because it was dragging on a bit, so I think it's about 10 mil. What do you think? I don't know what 10 mil is. I'm not joking. I'm exaggerating. I'm not joking. And I turned around and I went, are you shitting me? You don't know what 10 mil is? I said, have you never used a ruler? Does not a ruler come in millimetres? And he went, well, I think so. And I just went, God. Oh my God.
I take it you did it yourself after this.
I just went, give me the pipe.
And I thought you might have done.
And I just went, there you go, try that. And he went, yeah, that fits. I went, yeah, I know. I did it by her. And then after that, I was like, I'm going to have a chat with him, and I'm going to have that chat. And
that's
just, so because he was also not doing anything, was sat on his fucking phone.
Oh, yeah.
And not doing anything. So And I thought, when I was young once, I had to have a chat. My boss, on my first job, had to pull me to the side and basically give me the riot act. So I thought, this is obviously what he needs. So I pulled him to the side and did exactly the same. Right, you need to be doing this, and this. I don't care if it's cleaning the van. I don't care if it's sweeping the floor. I don't care if it's helping somebody else out. You need to be doing something or showing that you're being productive, especially if I come in. I don't want to see you sat on your bloody phone in the corner.
No.
You need to be involved. All right? You know, went on a bit longer than that, but that was the principle of it. And he went, yeah, all right, okay. 1 week it lasted.
Yeah, that's it.
And he went back to the same old.
I've had to put a mobile phone ban in place when I've had young ones with me. I've literally had enough and said, listen, you need to leave them in the van till boo.
I'd get them in the glove box.
Yeah, exactly that.
The job. He jumps out of the van. I said, oi, glove box is open.
Do you do that still today?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just habit, isn't it? Like
Do you still stand around with his thumb up his arse, though?
Sometimes, yeah. He's brilliant when he's busy. When he's got a job on, he's brilliant. But when he's sat around or stood around not really sure what to do,
Just get a brush in your hand. That's what I was taught. Listen, if Gaffer walks on site and you ain't doing nothing, get a goddamn brush in your hand. Do anything, just move.
I was taught, I had the same. When he read me the riot act, that was one of the things he said to me.
I can hear the beasting in the back of my head now that I got for being caught, sat down on my arse one day for more than 2 minutes.
I was told, you don't care how many times I sweep that floor. If he walks in, I need to have the broom in my hand. If I'm not doing anything,
you get round back at head.
You know.
But you do turn into more of a father figure or big brother with an apprentice because of how they are and how immature they are. You know, they need a cuddle, don't they? It's hard to give them that and to beast them and to, you know, you cross the lines too many times.
You can't treat the youngers the way we got treated when we were younger, because they're either going to give you a slap or they're going to report you to the police or go running to mummy. It's like
and he wasn't allowed back to work. His mum and dad told him he wasn't allowed back. Yeah, so wow. The apprentice.
Wow.
Work ethic's gone out the window. Oh well.
Yeah.
Having a laugh on the joke, he was beasting. I beasted him back and didn't like it.
Yeah.
They don't, do they?
No.
Shoes on the other foot. Now they go crying.
You know, this sort of leads on to the next thing. Really, it was just like practical jokes and stuff. And as an apprentice, unfortunately, you tended to be the brunt of every joke that was going or anything that was, you know, if anybody was going to be humiliated, it was usually the apprentice.
Yeah.
And sometimes, obviously, it was quite severe. But it was almost like the what do they call it? Not enrollment, the
initiation
type of thing into the trade.
Yeah, of course it was.
And I remember, for me, I got caught a couple of times. I got caught out with the sky hooks.
Yeah.
You know, going trying to find some sky hooks. Spent hours looking for sky hooks. Not a clue what I was looking for. Couldn't find it. But
catching sparks in buckets and all sorts.
Yeah. And showing me age a little bit is I actually was sent to the garage to go and get some 2-star petrol. You know, because back years ago, and Izzy wouldn't know this because he's too young. You know, you used to buy. Well, I don't know, you might remember, fella. I don't know. Quite how old you are, but you used to buy 3-star and 4-star.
Certainly do.
3-star petrol, 4-star petrol, and then you'd buy your diesel. You know. And basically, it was the old-fashioned leaded and unleaded stuff. That's how they used to grade it: 3-star, 4-star.
Right.
And then you'd go and get 2-stroke then as well. And of course, you know, they got me with the old 2-star, and I was halfway down the road with the petrol can, and they were all come out, and I could hear this noise from behind, and I turned around, and they're all out laughing their bloody tits off as I'm strolling down jerry can to go and get some 2-star. You know, but. It's quite interesting, really, because, you know, the old-fashioned was the long wait. I think it was quite a common one. Yeah. I think it's still used today for a little bit. And the glass hammer and the left-handed screwdriver. But have you ever been caught with, have you had anything?
Left-handed hammer.
Left-handed hammer.
Yeah,
all right.
As well as screwdriver.
Yeah.
Skirting board ladder, innit?
Skirting board ladder. That's a good one. I don't think I've heard that one.
I got asked for a glass hammer and I did go looking for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was back in the day. But then again, like the name of the podcast, it's all banter with the builders. That's what it's about. If you can't have a bit of banter on site, then you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong environment for working, I feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not raising fairies in the building game.
No. And I think a lot of it, especially it's aimed at the apprentices, I think when they're, what should I say? I'm going to say thick is a bit of a strong word, but the light's not on, should we say. They get a little bit, a bit dense. They get a little bit targeted a bit more. And as anybody knows within the trade, if anybody's ripping it, well, it doesn't matter if it's in the trade or general life with your mates or not, the minute you bite on something.
Yeah.
Oh, you're getting it. That's it. You're just jumping on them at that point, aren't you?
Door then, and you're just going, just give it to me now.
Yeah, that's it.
So, but I remember we had one, like back in the day when I was in the motor trade, I had a lad come in for his work experience. And he come in, and the first thing he came and said to me was, "Oh, I've heard all the fucking stories. You're not going to get me out," and give it the fucking attitude, Yeah. And I was like, "All right, okay."
That means game on.
I was like, "All right, we'll just see," So a few days passed, and I thought about time we sort of introduced something. So I got in with this good old Skyhook one. Go up into the stores and find some Skyhooks. An hour before he come down and said, "I can't find them," and we were having a little laugh. So that agitated him because we caught him out, and he'd already given me the big one that he wasn't going to get caught. And that one, then he actually kicked off on. So he proper kicked off, like effing and blinding it as all, like proper went for it. So I thought, "Oh right, okay." This definitely justifies another one, really.
Yeah.
So I waited till the following day, and he started coming with a bit of attitude and a bit of cockiness. And I had a bit of the guts full, and I thought I just need to get him to disappear for a bit. So we were working in a little village garage at the time, and it had a little village pub about only 100 yards down the road. So I said to him, "Oh, do us a favour. We're running out of compressed air. Go and get a bucket of compressed air from down the pub for us." I said, he keeps it there. Just go and find it. Of course, off he fucking strolls with his bucket. And I just thought, I don't know, I'm just going to leave him to it.
Two for the price of one here, Stu.
Oh, mate. And he come back, I don't know, probably a good half an hour, 40 minutes later, kicking the bucket. And I mean kicking the leather and the shit out of this bucket. And he come in and he called me every fucking name under the sun. And of course I had the landlord phone me up, didn't he, from the pub, and he went, "You twat." He said, "Why did you send him down here?" I said, "I'd had enough of him. I needed him out the way." he said he come in, and he said he was actually really polite when he knocked on the door, because the pub was closed in the mornings. And he went, "Oh yeah, Stu sent me down. Can I have a bucket of compressed air?" And he went, "You what?" And he said, I had to say, "I think he's having you on." Straight away he went, fucking bucket. Come all the way back. And he didn't come in actually on the last day either. He just didn't bother coming back. But again, just not the right mentality for the role or the job, or
Didn't have the minerals for sticking out with them.
No.
We had one. Was it last year or year before? You know who you are if you ever see this. I won't mention your name. He was doing me heading on site and was doing a bathroom in Eccles. I was like, "Right, what can we do here?" Because I just wanted to come out of my fucking hair for a bit. I said, "Right, we need some fallopian tubes to be able to connect this shower up, mate." He went, "What?" I said, "Yeah, we need some fallopian tubes." And 3 of the lads were in the other rooms. They've all heard it. You could hear them sniggering in the background, you know what I mean? So I was like, "Right, go get him." So as soon as he's left, I thought, right, let's see how long I can drag this on for. So I phoned up 4 of the local builders merchants, been through it with whoever's there, and I said, I sent this lad in to see each one of these people. So the first one's Adam Wright, good and proper. He's like, "Well, what do you want? Do you want AC or DC?" Like, fucking hell. So he said, "No, we don't stock them, mate." So then I sent him to Travis Perkins. Best mate, one of my managers in there, he goes, "Was it 32 mil or 48 mil you want?" Bearing in mind, he knows it's a 22 mil fitting he's going out looking for. He phones me up and he goes, "They haven't got them here." I said, "Right, mate, listen, I've been on the phone. Give me 2 minutes, I'll phone you back." And phoned him back. I said, "Listen, I've been on the phone. The only place that's got them in is Leeds." I shit you not, he got on the M60, went on the M62, and I phoned him up. He was at Haywood and said, "Listen, you daft bastard, you need to turn around and get back to work now." But there is footage on Facebook of him going in and asking for these. So you know who you are. It was a good day. Thank you very much.
And he still needs them fallopian tubes.
Yeah.
Find him, bring him back for him.
It was a good day.
Quality.
And I don't understand why they kick off either about it. It's like, oh, hang on, we're still paying you to go waste our time to have a laugh. All right, might be at your expense. Exactly. have a bit of something about you.
Yeah, no.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It is. It's a bit mad like that. I remember one in the motor trade used to. You're supposed to wear steel toe caps, especially in the garages. And it was back in the day when the caps were on the outside of the boots, you know. And one of the lads, he'd been given one of the fabricators some stick. So of course, he was stood on the end of the ramp, and back in the, I don't know if they still do it. Back in those days, they'd send the ramp up with a bloke on the end, and the bloke could do some welding on the exhaust or something, and the bloke could be working under the bonnet. And they'd been given some stick. And the welder sort of finally had enough. Of course, the bloke got his feet literally like that on the ramp. So, of course, he just went with the welder, welded his two boots together.
Good man.
And then he said, I'm just going to drop the ramp, all right? Just make sure you don't move, you know. Yeah. And he dropped the ramp back down and he walked off. Of course, then as soon as he went to fucking move, he fucking whoosh, straight fucking back.
Well,
He's like, I'll fucking teach him. You know, but it's one of them, isn't it? We all have to deal with that type of shit sometimes. Don't know, does it? Builds a bit of character at the end of the day, you know.
Definitely.
One of those, isn't it?
Definitely.
You got to learn to take it. You know, everyone's quick enough to give it. You'd have a bit back now and then.
Yeah.
We all have our moments.
Yeah. You've got to be willing to take it back if you're happy to dish it out.
Yeah.
You know, I've known many people that only like dishing it out. The minute it goes the other way.
I've seen a few.
Fucking hell.
I've got to admit, boys, I'm a bit like that. I will dish it out, but when the shoe's on the other foot, I turn it right mad ass. I really do, and I don't mind sharing that. Honesty starts at home, do you know what I mean? If you can't be honest with yourself, bloody hell, we're fucked.
What can we do?
As long as it's off camera, I don't want to go anymore. I am under these lights.
DL, that's terrible. That is terrible. I don't know. So I suppose we're going. If we move on a little bit then from that, let's go to the other side of the dark side, to the customers. Obviously, I've touched on this before with road customers, dealing with it and that. You boys had any experiences with funny customers, any stalkers or?
Yeah, I had one about a few months ago. So we did a battery install for him. Installed it all working fine. Next day, come up on my phone, there was a fault on the battery. So I'm like, I'm just around the corner, so I'll just go myself. Went round there, knocked on the door, just didn't ring him, just knocked on the door. Oh, Jess, excellent, you got my message then? And I said, oh, yeah, so your battery's not working. He said, yeah, come through. He's like, I've already done the checks on it. There's something's missing. I went, no, nothing's missing. It was all working fine yesterday. But this was like a new EP11 one that's only just come out, so we've never installed it before. So I was like, checking all around. I was like, well, I'll ring Fox. It probably needs an update. Ring Fox. No, something's missing. I'm like, no, it's not. He's like, I'll leave you to it then. Rung Fox. Like, do all the checks, blah, blah. Yeah, no, you're missing the plug on the end. Well, fucking hell, how do you know that then? And he's like, yeah. So I went, no, you're right, George. Something's missing. And he's like, yeah, I told you. I've done all the checks on it. I'm like, right, okay. Because I did message you as well to bring the part. So I just didn't know what it was called. And I went, oh, right, I didn't get your message. Like, on Heinez. I went, Heinez? I went, you contacted me through Google, didn't you? I went, Heinez, I've been talking to you telepathically. I was like,
what?
Yeah. I'm like, all right. Yeah. And he goes, yeah, do you not use Heinez? And I went, no, I haven't before. He goes, oh, you're probably not in touch with Heinez. He's like, do you want to get back in touch with it? And I was like, yeah, definitely. And he's like, right, what you got to do, you got to sit there, you got to say your name, say, my name is Jessie, and blink, and you do it 10 times. I went, all right, my name's Jessie. And he goes, right, now you got to lie, because with Heinez, you can't lie. And he goes, all right, okay. He goes, so now say your name is James. I was like, my name is James, and then you don't blink. So I don't, my name's James. So are you in touch with it now? And he's like, did you get my message? And I said, no. He goes, right, okay, I need to do some checks on you. Now he's going, like dancing around me, doing checks, going, 1, 2, 3, heart okay, 1, 2, 3, liver okay. So he goes, yeah, it's your brain. And he said, something wrong with your brain. And I'm like, right.
Something wrong with yours, pal.
I'm like, for fuck's sake, I ain't got time for this. But I'm like, right, so I'm going along with it still. So I'm already started now. And he's gone, right, yeah, cool. So yeah, he's got a problem with your brain. He's like, you're really stressed at the moment, aren't you? I went, yeah, a little bit and that. And he goes, oh, you're stressed with money. He didn't know at the time, but I was waiting for some money to come in. I'm a little bit stressed about it. Fucking hell, how do you know this? I know the missing parts missing, know the money.
Was he the one that owed you the money?
Yeah, that's it. I was like, buy into this now. I'm like, fucking hell, maybe this is real. And then he's like, yeah, don't worry, I can fix it if you want. I said, yeah, okay. Then he goes, right, it's going to take some time. So now he's dancing around me again, going, singing out all this like numbers and stuff. I'm like, fucking hell. And he does it. And he goes, right, did you get my message? I said, no, I didn't get it. He goes, oh, fucking hell, you must be dehydrated. Right, okay.
Coffee with 2 then, please.
Oh, fucking hell. And I was like, right, okay, I'm just going to go get a part. I'll be back in a minute. And I ended up sending my colleague back. And I was like, fucking...
That's some weird shit.
And was it just a plug missing?
Huh?
Was it a plug top missing?
It was like it's like a link cable.
Okay.
Goes at the end of the battery to the end of line. And also, we didn't know that because we've never done this battery before.
Yeah.
When I rang the colleague, I was like, have you got that bit? He's like, oh yeah, I wonder what that's for. It's in my van still. I was like, oh, fuck's sakes. I was like, right, you need to go back and do that.
The joys of lads.
That's just freaked the fuck out.
Mate, well, that's what I mean. I was freaking out because he knew about the fucking plug and then he knew about my money worries at the time. So I was thinking, fucking hell.
That's mad.
Isn't it?
That's mad. I've only had, what have I had one? I've had one like, not like, as crazy as that. I've had, we went and did some work for a customer. And she's quite a religious lady. And me and Ty, we walked in first day, literally minutes after walking in. And we were just chatting, and I said, "Oh, are you looking forward to having it all done? You know, blah blah blah." Oh, yes, I am. Now she says, "Would you mind if I bless you? You know, make and let God know that I'm not religious, so but I go with the flow, and let God bring you His blessings down and make everything, the job, go really smooth and all of that." I went. I said, because I turned around, I said, yeah, I'd take all the fucking help I can get, So she says, oh, right, okay, let's pray. So, of course, I said, yeah, all right, whatever, So I stood there, and Ty's next to me like this. And she's got her eyes shut, and she's reeling off, whatever she was saying. Of course, I'm just looking round, and I'm looking at Ty, and Ty's like... And then Ty does the one eye open to see what I'm doing, and I'm just looking at him going, so what happened? And he's realised, and then you can see, because and then she says, "Oh, amen," and then we go, "Amen." Right. As it happened, it didn't fucking work because the job went to shit.
I was going to ask that.
So perhaps I should have paid attention.
Yeah, that's it.
But that was the first time I'd been blessed to do a job anyway. That's for sure. Don't get me wrong; she was very helpful and she was very grateful and happy with everything that was done. But it didn't go smoothly by far, And she was one of those that was. She's very indecisive, couldn't make her mind up, would then change her mind, would then ask a daughter what she thought, and then she would ask another daughter what she thought. And she got 3 daughters, and then you go to the third daughter to what she thought. And if they all didn't agree, it would just go round in a circle till they could all agree on something.
See, clients aren't aware of the knock-on effect that has with us financially. As trades, they really don't. Time is money. You know what I mean? You got 4 lads on site. That you've got 32 working hours in a day. If you stood around waiting for a decision, that has a knock-on effect to the other lads. You suddenly lost a whole working day. It's ridiculous. The other ones are, excuse me, the best ones are, can you just? Do you mind if you're doing this? And then at the end of the job, they wonder why they got an extras bill and pulled a face at it.
Oh yeah.
Even if you approach it with them, they're like, well, hang on. I only asked you if you could do that. It'll only take you 10 minutes. It'll only take you half an hour.
Yeah.
Hang on. Our invoice, our quote says we're here to do X, Y, and Z. That's what we're doing. If you want to drop A, B, and C in it, then... Yeah. And then they stand over and watch you like that all day.
Well, I have that so much.
It's a nightmare.
For me.
Yeah.
I have that so much of that.
The worst one is when we're fitting worktops. Yeah, I mean, you stood there, you're routing the worktops out, and he stood outside, and that's the most nerve-wracking, costly time when you fit in a kitchen anyway. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And when they stood over you like that, it's like, oh, hang on. And you're concentrating on them, you're not concentrating on what you're doing here. Thankfully, I've never ballsed up on it, but it is a pet hate being watched over by a client.
It's awful, isn't it? That even knowing that they're there.
Yeah, you feel the eyes burning in the back of your skull.
It's really freaky, isn't it?
I just try and put my tools in the way. So if you know they're going to come and watch you, just put your tools in the doorway and try and block them off somehow. Obviously, it's better when you're doing worktops outside or in a bigger space, but just try and find a way to get them where they are. So you can't be within 5 metres of these cuts on the worktop.
Health and safety.
Yeah, that's it.
In the end, I've turned around to loads of clients and I said, if you're going to stand here watching all day, I will bill you for it. I said, what do you mean? I said, I will bill you for my time for you standing here watching. You can't be joking. I said, no, I'm not joking. I said, we're here to do a job. I've been polite as I can about it, but when I've got to the point where I've asked 3 or 4 times, I said, listen, if you want to stand here, we're going to have to bill you for the time. And they say, fuck off.
We had it not too long ago. We were sending the lads around, change the hob and kitchen sink, and he had to make cuts on the worktop. So we started cutting it with a jigsaw, and then customer came in and took over.
What do you mean?
Went and got his blunt multi-tool and was cutting it out with a multi-tool instead of a jigsaw, and yeah, so Matt ended up doing an hour job all day.
Fucking hell.
So I sent him the bill, and then he ran up kicking off.
Yeah.
Well, he was stood there being a labourer. Well, yeah, because you've took over.
Yeah.
Let us do a job, and we would have been in and out.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't confident of him doing the job, so we should kick them out of the house rather than letting them stand there watching you, waiting for you to cut it.
Yeah.
Phone me. Why you instruct us to do a job if you're not going to let us do it?
I didn't realise you would bill me for extra time.
Yeah.
Can I countercharge you for the bits I had to do and buy? No, because we had everything on the van that we needed. You decided to take this on yourself and wanted to do it yourself. Should have done this before we got there. Ah, right, okay. Well, I'll only pay you £100. No. Customers just think they're on the hierarchy of things, don't they? You know, we've had 2 this week. 1 today, 1 yesterday. Well, sorry, both yesterday. Go around to do a job, some snagging on the bathroom. Tried contacting them Monday to get there Tuesday. Text me Tuesday morning, 8 o'clock. So I've just seen your message. You can still come around if you want. We got work booked in now.
Yeah.
So text through the day, a bit slow. And then Tuesday afternoon, I said we'll be around Wednesday at 12. Wednesday at 7:45. I'm not in at 12. Right, okay, I'll move some work around. What time are you in? 3 o'clock. So he gets there at 2:45. A bloke's outside and, she's asleep. Right. I need her to know what snagging it is. Oh yeah, mate, bathroom's absolutely unbelievable. We're so happy with it. So the lad's like, well, why am I here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of things that she wants to run through with you. So we had to wait till 3 o'clock outside to go in. And then yesterday evening, get a text, you can't come around till 10 o'clock tomorrow. I've got meetings till 10 on Zoom. Like, right, well, we need all day. Yeah, not before 10. That's why your job's not going to be finished.
Yeah.
You waited 3 months for this job to be in.
Yeah.
Job's not going to be finished. Just ignore me. I
Nice.
thought, well, you know what? You had tomorrow there as well.
Yeah.
So let's get there at 11 o'clock and let's not finish it on purpose and not go back tomorrow. And you can wait a few extra weeks for it to be done.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
They are like
They hound you
on
and
another
hound
planet.
And then they just think that you're there for them.
Yeah.
How do you find getting paid, boys? Because obviously we predominantly get paid by online transfer now, don't we? Straight on the phone. We should all have T's and C's in here, which some people might have 30 days. Mine says, as soon as your job's complete, fucking pay me.
Yeah.
And then you leave the house at leave the house at 5 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock, work a late one to finish it. Oh, we'll pay you. Well, hang on. There's your phone.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And it don't turn up for a week.
Yeah.
It's like, and we wonder why we've got cash flow issues and trust issues with customers.
Well, I got one in the minute still ongoing. So we did a bathroom back in March, end of March, beginning of April, and they had the same. While you're here, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? And I said, yeah, that's fine, no problem. We'll do it. You know. We did all this extra, and then she said, "Oh, can you change a light for us?" So we said, "Yeah, one light turned to 2, turned to 3, to end up doing the house." And then she says, "Oh, well, actually, I want them all to be on dimmers. So you probably know this more than anything." Well, of course, what does she do? She goes and buys everything off Amazon.
Oh, yeah, nice.
All the switches, all the lights off Amazon. Of course, they're not compatible. They're not dimmable. Some of the dimmers work. Some of them don't. The modules on the back don't work. They're flickering.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's now taken us days
Yeah.
to go through this. We're going through different bulb setups, different switch setups, different module setups. And so, of course, the time's racking up. So it gets to finishing the job and sending the invoice over. Hence, it turned around and says, I ain't paying that. Why? Well, look how much it is. Yeah. You've asked us to do all this extra work, and we've had to sort out your lighting problem, which wasn't our fault. And she says, oh, yeah, but perhaps we should have had perhaps we should have had a lighting design and drawing. And I said, what difference would that make? Everything's already in. You're just changing everything. What would a drawing achieve, you know? Well, we'd have both known what we're doing. Well, hang on a minute. We do know what we're doing. You're the one who supplied us with the goods. If you'd have just said to us, can you get the lights and the dimmer switches today? We'd have gone, yes, certainly.
Yeah.
Because we know
What we
what
need.
would have worked and what would have been compatible. But instead, you bought cheap off Amazon, and now you've had to suffer the consequences of us putting it right.
Yeah.
And it just went, oh, well, I'm not happy. I'm not paying it. I said, well, someone's paying some of it. I said, because, you know,
Yeah.
otherwise we'll be coming back and we'll be taking the lights, you know, we'll be taking everything back out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the law is not set up for us.
It's not.
But to be fair, it's not set up to protect the client either, if we're being honest here. They can stitch us up royally. But like you just said then about going taking lights out, they've purchased it. Unless it's even if we purchase it, unless we put in our T's and C's, everything is wholly owned by X, Y, and Z company.
Yeah.
Until final payment is made. We can't do anything. Once that product is installed on site, we can't remove it.
No.
What I've started doing is not if they're disputing the final payment, is telling that their product's not going to be under warranty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead, the warranty is only registered once payment's been completed.
Yeah.
All like that.
I
I'll go and remember my T's and C's later for that. I will be doing. 110% I will.
This morning, so we've done a water heater. We've done it 3 weeks ago, probably longer than that, and we've done all the making good, and the electrics needed altering to it. So I got my electrician, but then it was after 2 o'clock, text him at 4 o'clock saying, don't bother coming round, I found my own electrician. So we never knew about it anyway, so we've had to get someone else in. It wasn't on the quote. So he's emailing me this morning saying, I know you're going to get your own electrician, but I'm going to take £160 off the final payment for the electrician I got in.
I'd say sweet, but your warranty is null and void. Thank you very much.
I said, well, no, actually, we've been back for a leak, and I haven't charged you for the leak, just out of goodwill.
Yeah.
And you have to pay your full bill. It wasn't on the quote anyway.
Yeah.
They just get things in their head and run with things, don't they? They just think that, well, no, I shouldn't do this. Oh, I'm being ripped off, or it's your fault.
Well, I had the same one, because that one I just said about now, I'm still getting payments off her. So she's playing hardball and drip feeding payments to me. But another one, part of that was she tried to argue is it was a whole property, and some of the floor was the old original oak floorboards, and some had been repaired at some point in its life. So she asked us to sand all the floor up and then stain the light bits down to match the original oak to try and darken it down. So she said, yeah, no problem. So she provided the colour that she wanted, and we sanded it all up and treated it. And it wasn't right. I said that to her before I did it. I said, I think you're going to need something a lot darker. No, we've used this one before. I said, oh, okay. So we done it. Of course, when it dried, it wasn't right. It looked awful. So then she asked us to go back and resand and retreat the floor with it. She bought a darker one this time, and to retreat it. And I said, because I went, yeah, that's no problem, but I just want to honestly make you aware that that will be extra. And she went, no, it won't, because in your original estimate, you've got it down that you're sanding and treating the floors. I said, yes, that is absolutely correct. It is in my estimate. That's exactly what it says. And we've done that. But now you've changed your mind because the stain isn't dark enough. You are now asking us to resand and retreat it. So therefore, it's extra.
What was the response?
Silence.
Yeah.
I didn't get one. Just silence.
Had a
Just-
return with, plus that's an estimate.
Just looked at me.
Mm.
And she
As
knew
if
she
you'd
was
gone
in the-
out.
She knew she was in the wrong, but she was trying it on.
Yeah.
They just try it. I've had customers who I've been in someone's house and they have been ringing utility bills and telling us how proud she is that all she does is dip money off bills. This is when I was employed, lucky enough, not for me. And then they disputed their final bill as well when it comes to it. People sit there and
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah.
They get a buzz out of it. They just like complaining, like trying to get money off things. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
We call them keyboard warriors
Well, they are, but
because they tend to have too much time on their hands.
definitely. But my biggest concern at the moment is Visa and Barclay Visa with the Section 75. So Section 75, as long as you deposit more than 10% of the total value of the cost of that job on a credit card, the client, even if she pays you in full, or he or she, whatever you want to say, pays you in full, they can go straight back to Visa and recall all that money back.
Yeah.
Can they?
Yeah. On
But
the
I've seen
Section
customers,
75.
I've heard that they go, oh, he charged me too much.
Yeah.
And then they go, it should only been £200 and something pounds, so £2,000.
That's a dirty trick.
Yeah.
I
And they get the money
That's
back.
what I mean. It's set up for the for
Yeah.
the consumer, not the provider of the service. Unfortunately.
That's a proper dirty trick. That.
Yeah. You know, I've had a customer before, well, not so long ago. We've done the job, or we priced the job. They had someone else come and price it, and now 25,000. We were 20,000. Done it all, already started it. So my payment terms are 30% deposit, and then 40% once all the materials are on site, and we've commenced the first day of work. We've got all the panels on the roof, all mounted, all finished. All we had to do was battery inverter the next day. And she's like, put in the next 40%. She went, yeah, I've been looking around, and I've seen I can get the materials for about £8,000 online. And I was like, right, okay. And she went, yes, I'm not really happy with what your markup is. We need to break this all down, and I want to know exactly what you're making, where you're making it. So then I had to get all my materials invoice, which is materials actually cost me 12,000 because they just got online and got just panels and battery and inverter without all the fixing, all the cable, everything like that. And then we sat down and she's like, well, I'm not really happy with what you're making. I was like, well, you've accepted the terms and conditions. Why are you arguing this now? I was like, £5,000 cheaper than the other person. It's just because they've had to pay that, and now they're like thinking.
I wonder what they'd have done to the other company is the question you want to be asking yourself.
Exactly that. And we had the quotes with exactly the same equipment. No, someone else was just £5,000.
I've had a similar.
Yeah.
I've had a couple similar to that, like that. I did many years ago. We redid a new central heating system in a big house, and he was an architect. I pull a face because I always find architects and designers, and they tend to be one of the worst people to work for, in my experience anyway. And this so-called architect had designed the central heating system. We tweaked it to make it work, but he wanted an unvented cylinder in there. So it was like 380 litre, 360 litre cylinder, something like that. One of the biggest ones you could buy at the time. And because the house was so propped in, you've got so many bathrooms on it. I said to him, I said, look, this ain't going to be big enough. I said, I think you need two. You've got to have two at least.
Yeah.
You know, I said, I'll install one, but I'm letting you know if it's insufficient, it's not with me. You know, I'm not taking the blame or responsibility for it. This is on you. You're designing it. I'm only going to what you spec'd. So, you know, and he went, no, well, I think that makes sense. If you have two, we'll do it. So I said, okay. So you're happy to buy it, you know, for the second? Yeah, you get it, and we'll that's fine. So I said, righto. And as it happened, I had another gas engineer on time. We weren't gassed at the time, so I had another bloke in, and he was stood next to me while we were having this conversation. And then we got to the end of the payment, got it all out, and he turned around and he says, oh, no, I'm not paying for that other cylinder. He says, you're charging me, I think it was about 700 quid then. He says, you're charging me £700 for that cylinder. I said, yeah, because that's what it is. Oh, I can buy it online for 400 quid.
Yeah.
I ain't paying that. And I said, well, perhaps you should have bought it then, shouldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I ain't paying it. And I went, that's all right, that's no problem. I said, we'll take it to court. I said, I got a witness. I said, I got the gas engineer bloke who's with it. He'll come to court and vouch. And he turned around and he said, I don't care who you got by you or who witnessed what. I ain't fucking paying it.
Yeah.
My wife's a barrister.
Oh, right. Decent.
And he says, and we'll make sure it doesn't go anywhere.
Oh, fucking hell.
What do you do?
Yeah, that's it.
Make sure that we get decent coverage on our insurances to fight arseholes like that.
You know.
Yeah, I know. It's frustrating.
So, but yeah, mad, eh?
Yeah.
Which in turn sort of leads on to the stress.
Tons of stress.
The stress that we deal with. And obviously the physical and mental stress.
Should be making wealth, not stress.
Yeah. That it puts us all under.
Yeah.
Because they don't see this. They don't, customers don't care. Like you say, they're in it just to scam you, some of them. And it has a knock-on effect to us, either as tradesmen or business owners, depending on where we are in the spectrum. And obviously the downside to it. So I've had a couple of close calls where it's pushed me to my limits with various things. I've certainly been financially pushed past my limits, and I've been through a really tough thing where I've virtually lost everything and had to come back. But they're all right. They're happy as Larry. So
they don't see it. They do the job, and that's it for them, isn't it? It's us that have to deal with it.
Yeah. All they see is what we do from walking through their door till after we leave the door. They don't see anything else that goes on in the background of that. They're not the ones that are getting up at 5:30 in the morning to be at the merchants for 7 o'clock, having to run the life before and in between.
Friends and families. A lot of my friends go, "Oh yeah, you're doing great." I've been working at home till 10 o'clock each evening for the past 2 weeks, catching up and getting ready for holidays. They don't see that. They think we go to work 8 till 5. We've got a group of lads working for us.
Yeah, I think we're smashing it.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not a pretty picture, is it? It's not in the background.
Living the dream eventually, but yeah, it's the
if you turn around and sell the dream, you probably wouldn't do a very good job of it, would you?
No, not at all.
Because years ago, it'd be like, go work for yourself. That's the way, that's the way forward. Run your own business. Do blah 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 blah. And then, like for me, I've been in business for nearly 20 years now, and you're like, would I still do it? I probably would, if I'd be honest.
Yeah.
But would I sell the dream? I don't know. I don't know if I could do a convincing sale of it. That's the way forward.
No.
I think.
But if you sold it with honesty, would anybody step into self-employment?
No, of course you wouldn't.
No, that's it. My apprentice has said, he's like, I wouldn't mind business, but after seeing your stress that you have to deal with, I definitely don't want it. Yeah. I've been bumped before for builder with like 16.5 grand. At the time, I was only like there was only like 3 of us. And obviously I paid all their wages, paid all the materials. There's not obviously a massive margin on like builders' jobs. No. Absolutely like buckled me, like financially. I was like trying to pick the pieces up from that. Yeah. People don't realise I've got kids and a family and a mortgage also to pay. Like I could have lost everything just because he thought, oh well, I ain't gonna bother. Yeah, it's the knock on though, isn't it? It's the knock on effect it has to you. But then, there's people. I say the people. There's I can't remember if it's a saying or something I've seen, and they say try and leave your problems at the door, but you can't. No. The person that can go home and go, there's the problems, and then go in and say, it's family time. Yeah. You can't do that. You can't just switch it on and off. It's consistently with you. As a business owner anyway, you don't get away from it just because you go for a door. You try, all right. You might not, you might try and knock it down a couple of pegs, should we say, because at the end of the day, you don't want it being passed on to the wife. Or that's it.
It always is, though. It always is. The kids and the missus feel it, unfortunately. Yeah. I think being in a relationship with somebody that's self-employed and as a business owner, it's difficult for us as that person, but I think the shit we put our families through on the back end of that.
You see a lot of relationships buckle, don't you?
Massively.
Yeah.
It's the hours as well. Obviously, when I'm getting home and working 10 o'clock each evening, likewise with yourselves probably, where's their time? Where's her time?
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was saying.
It's great when it's just you and her, and then you have a kid, and things change then, and then now you've got to make time for the kid, and no time for her, and it's difficult, isn't it? It's really hard.
And when it does go bad, we all end up suffering, you know what I mean? People turn to alcohol, substance abuse. Yeah. Pornography, anything
to switch off, though, innit? That's what it is.
Switch off, to pull yourself just out of that for just 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was doing that at one point. I was just coming home, just drinking. No, just to get, like I say, switch off. And then I wouldn't care if I wasn't drinking with anyone. I used to always go and meet up with mates to switch off, but then it got to a point where I was like, I don't even care, I'm just going to get pissed off.
Thursday night used to be mine, just get pissed just because I didn't know what was in the bank account when I went to bed. How am I going to wake up to my 12 grand in there tomorrow so I can pay the lads tomorrow? It's like, but then you wake up with a sore and it's not in there. It's like, well, hang on, what have I just achieved there?
That's it.
But when you're in that position, it doesn't matter. You just go do it again and again and again.
Escapism, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Just escape that real world, just that hour, few hours, weekend, week, whatever it may be.
And then
that's
10
how far
times
you
worse.
take it, and you know, it's like you say, you can wake up with that sore head, and the thoughts, the tasks day to day just get a bit tougher, a bit harder, because you're not thinking straight.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, actually, I feel a bit shit. I'm just gonna have another beer.
Yeah.
And then you have another beer, and then it goes on to the day after, and then it just leads, doesn't it? Like you say.
I suppose it escalates, doesn't it? It's
So
just
easy.
Yeah. It snowballs very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't realise it yourself sometimes either. You know,
No.
you can be sat there and you can just, carry on with it, and you just think, it's fine, just having a couple of beers and a few beers and a crate, and then, you think, all right, still fine, I'm still working, I'm still doing what I'm doing, and then all of a sudden it comes around, it hits you.
That's it. My dad passed away about last year from a heart attack, and we never knew, but he actually declared himself bankrupt, and he had his own business, roofing company, and he never told any of us what he was going through. He just kept it all quiet, working under stress and that, and he was drinking a lot, and we just never realised.
Yeah.
So, we feel like if he would have spoke to us, we could have helped him.
Yeah. And I think that's probably, to be fair, that's probably the biggest thing that you can do.
Yeah.
With you saying that is just speaking to somebody.
Yeah.
Whether it's somebody you don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like Samaritans or a helpline or something. Or it's your mate down the pub. But it's a mate maybe over a Chinese or something.
Yeah.
Just trying to air it out a bit. I know the old cliche is problem
Shared is a problem half.
It may be shared as in the put. It gets it out of your system. All right, it doesn't solve the actual problem, and it probably won't half the physical problem.
No,
but it's just getting out there and just maybe having somebody to listen that will just listen to you and
who might have some
even
advice.
Even if they can't give you the advice, but just maybe, I suppose, some support, should we say?
Yeah.
Even if it's just blah 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 blah. If you ever need a chat, I'm here.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with that on a basis. But there's three types of drinkers and users.
Yeah.
You've got the moderate, the heavy, and the addict. Okay.
Yeah.
So the moderate person can go out just have a few beers after work. Like an airline pilot, they'll have a few pints. They know to switch off, stop it. They sound. They go to work the next day. You've got the heavy drinkers who will drink and drink and drink and drink. But as soon as they've got a life-changing experience, or the doctor says you need to stop this or that'll happen, or they get threatened to lose the family or the business, they can stop. And then you've got the addictive person who, like my dad, he passed away on the 28th, we found him, of an alcoholic death. They just end up isolated. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there is no stopping.
Yeah.
Because once you've put the first one in, the body takes over the mind, and then it's just a snowball of effect.
I suppose it's almost like self-implode, isn't it?
Of course it is.
I suppose, because you probably, like you say, distance yourself from your family. You almost put yourself in a box, and then you just wait, self-sabotage.
Is that a little bit of embarrassment from it as well sometimes as well?
Of course it is.
You, like you say, distance yourself from your family, your friends, because you think they're going to mock you. You know yourself that it's probably not quite right, the amount of drink you're drinking. I spoke to my dad last weekend, and he reckons he's doing 50 beers a week, plus spirits. It's a lot.
That's a fair chunk,
and
when you add
spirits and shots and stuff as well. So it's a lot, and again, he don't really lead too much of a stressful life. He's employed, but it's all up here, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Regardless of what life you leave and what life you live and everything you do day to day, but it's working with this one sometimes.
Yeah,
that's the difficult thing. And for us, I think as business owners, it's quite lonely sometimes.
Yeah.
You get stuck in the rut of making decisions, making some big decisions sometimes by yourself, not knowing if it's right. And it can be hard sometimes to have that backing. And I think, the reason we're probably here is for that reassurance. I think we can all probably do it ourselves, so we really put ourselves to it. But it's that reassurance, because again, you're fighting with that out there, and it's constantly that battle. Yeah. But I went for counselling 18 months ago. I had my son in November and went in January because the burden of my partner expecting me to be home with my son, trying to run a business, trying to make sure the money's coming in, everything else, you know, the day-to-day life of a business owner is hard.
Well done for sharing that, brother.
No, yeah,
It's nice to be able to put that out on the table with honesty.
And
Do you know what I mean?
You have to. You know, you can't be ashamed by it. You know, you've got to be able to take that leap and, you know, like honesty. If you can't be honest to yourself, like you said at the start, you can't be honest to anyone. And you've got to be honest to yourself. And sometimes they're actually, I could do with a little bit of help here. And it just helps guide you through. I'm still with them now. We go to the sessions. We don't really do counselling. We sit there for an hour and have a chat.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's all you need. That's all you need. Just somebody that's absolutely neutral to what we're going through.
He's business minded as well, so it's nice sometimes to just sit there, talk about the business, talk about family life. He's guided me with a few tips and advice on business. Got my marketing team set up for me 12 months ago, and just a few other things as well. So it's not just that counselling. Sometimes just find someone to have the counselling, but also something else with them, so you can actually have, you know, that bit of guidance and. It's not.
Well, I suppose in a way he's still counselling you.
Yeah.
But it's sort of not as a.
It's not in your face in any sense.
Lay on the couch and let's go through it. You're just having that general. Conversation.
Yeah.
You know, you as I say, you're shooting the breeze technically, but he's still interacting with you to get off what you need.
I took my partner to one. And she hasn't been back since.
How did the evening go when you got home after?
It was a bit quiet.
Yeah.
But
opposite sofas.
Yeah. They don't realise today. They don't realise the stress and everything we're under. You know, and as much as you talk, as much as you say it, you know, again, what goes on inside your body, inside your mind, to know the day-to-day of making sure the money's in the account, making sure the work's in, the vans are sorted, vans in for MOT today, make sure everything's organised, the lads organised, work's put in, jobs are ordered, materials are there.
Customers not paying.
It's a lot. It is a lot. I had 4 days off last week, 4 working days, and it took me 2 full working days to catch up.
Catch back up.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, that's it.
Most of the days.
Yeah.
So how I do that normally, being on the road 8 till 5, and it's difficult.
Yeah.
Hassle sometimes.
I know. I similar. We like I don't have holiday as a rule. It's not because I don't want it, but I'm always working like everybody is. So unless my wife books the time and then says, right, Stu, we're going on holiday that week. That's the week we're going. I probably wouldn't take it.
And I think it's JV's fault for getting us all off the goddamn tools.
It is. It is. So, you know, but I'm still not at that phase in my business where I'm not off the tools.
Yeah.
You know.
We're on the fence at the moment, aren't we? Yeah.
But I'm away I was away I can only go away for a week at the most. But out of that week, I was probably working 3 days on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, every holiday in the past 5 years has been that way.
But I'm still dealing with emails.
Don't like
I'm
that,
still
I do
getting
like
phone calls. I'm still managing the lads.
There's no shut off from anything, is there? You live and breathe it. Regardless of where you are in the world, what you're doing in the world. You know, I've been away on a boat trip or something. You just think about work. You see something and it just click, and you think there's no shut off. You can't just turn off from it, can you? And
No.
You know, the holidays are times when you want to be turning
Well,
off.
that's it, and that's why I was bringing it up really more than anything, because you know we went away to try and I was reasonably stressed before we went with everything that was going on, and I was quite looking forward to a few days sort of away, and then literally I think I had 2 days where the phone didn't ring, which was the first 2 days, and then the phone and email and the customers was all after. So then I'm actually coming home
needing a holiday,
more stressed than what I went with.
Knowing all that work you got to do.
Knowing that I got what I got to deal with, you know. And I'd have to say, I was talking to a customer only yesterday, and he was an ex-alcoholic for many years, and he's been clean for many years now. But he actually got into meditation, and this is what he, you know, we were just shooting the breeze, and he said for him, that's what helped him. You know, and he was saying, look, try not to worry about what's happened in the past and what's happened in the future. Just worry about what's in front of you at that time.
Yeah.
You know, he says, because it's all psychological. He says, what's happening a week or 2 weeks down the road really doesn't matter.
Yeah, we have no control over that.
Doesn't matter. He says, but it's your brain telling you, oh, I've got to worry about that. He said, try not to worry about it. Just try and deal with what's in front of you. He said, then you'll find that you'll probably be fine. You'll just deal with the issue, and then you'll know that when you get to that next week, you'll deal with the issue that you've got to deal with then. So don't forward,
Just on that, I read a fact a couple of weeks back. It was 65% of worries, a minimum of 65% of worries, don't actually become...
Yeah, don't manifest.
Never manifest, yeah.
Worry.
Yeah. Which is mad, isn't it?
Yeah, crazy.
As you say, we also worry about what's happened previously. So something that I've been taught and learnt quite a lot about recently is actually getting that out. So rather, you don't have to discuss it with everybody because it's so hard to discuss and open up a lot of the time. So just to be able to write that down and get it out of the mind onto paper, just leave it a day or two, come back, reread it, and then just burn it. And you don't think about it again after that. I'll tell you that for true.
Right.
And it works. It might not work for everybody, but it works for a majority. It might not work for the minority. But again, I think us having this discussion openly and honestly today, I think we should be an advocate, towards people, because nobody discusses their mental health, their addictions, the drinking problems within the industry. They just crack on with it and they think it's normal.
Yeah.
England has got the highest cocaine usage in the whole of the UK. In the whole of Europe, sorry, not the UK, the whole of Europe, And people think, oh, it's Friday, let's get on it. Then they do Friday, Saturday, maybe not do Sunday, but probably Sunday. And then they come into work on a Monday, Tuesday, they're just not even worth being there.
Yeah.
And then on Wednesday, they're talking about weekend again.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, there's the issue, because they don't think they got anything else to do except drink.
I used to have, I used to know a lad, a good friend, well, used to be a good friend, and that was his routine, but on the drink.
It used to be mine.
And he'd have his wages go in, he'd ask to be paid weekly.
Yeah.
He'd have his wages go in Friday night. It would be gone by Sunday morning.
Yeah, subs on Monday.
And then he'd be wanting subs for the rest of the week. And he would just literally go home, shower change, straight to the pub, all Friday night, till whatever hour in the morning, sleep through most of the Saturday, because it would be stupid o'clock. Go straight to the pub then, mid-afternoon, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, all through Saturday again, do it again Sunday. And then if he turned up Monday, he was no good to anybody. Yeah. And then sometimes if he had money still left, he'd go out then on the Monday night and turn up on Tuesday, absolutely wasted.
But what I have
And
noticed...
then repeat, and week after week.
That's with your employees or people that work for people. As business owners, we could still do that and do it till 5 o'clock on a Monday morning, but still be in work at 6:30.
Yeah.
Whether we were being respectful with people's lives, driving them around, still smashed from the weekend, we'd still get up and do what we needed to do. But to some people, that's their relief.
Yeah.
But it's not when it gets on top of you.
No.
Because suddenly your whole world's crashing down. You're isolated, you're drinking and using on your own, stuck in a bedroom, and that shit's just getting heavier and heavier and heavier every time.
I think the main thing is really, isn't it, is one, speaking. Speak to someone, or speak to yourself and try and help yourself.
Yeah.
The other one's a hobby. Replace that pub time or drug time, whatever it may be, with something else. Gym, swimming, walking, whatever it may be.
The gym's a massive one for mental health.
Yeah.
I've stopped using the gym for years, and I got back into the gym about 3 months ago, up at 5:30, in there for 6 every morning. I'll tell you what, the difference that makes.
Yeah, that's what
the dopamine that you're getting by 7 o'clock,
Right. Yeah,
it's lasting you through to 11 o'clock dinner time.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, that's it.
Because to be fair, I've thought about that. And that's as far as I've gone. Because to me, I agree with you. To me, I would be in my element if I could get up at 5 and go, all right, I'm down at the swimming pool. Well, I wouldn't go to the gym. It's not really my thing. But certainly down the swimming pool for an hour and then get back ready for work, blah, 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 blah. But for me, I don't sleep well anyway. So by the time I actually get to sleep, the last thing I want to be doing is getting up early.
I know what you mean.
Because I've done a few times where I've done it, and I get into 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and I'm starting to feel the fatigue already, and I'm like, oh God, I'd say I've still got half a day's work, and then it's half a day's practical work, but then you still, when you get home, you still got to do another 2 hours of paperwork. Or
and then the family time.
Yeah. And then for me, it's just a constant circle. So then, because then sometimes I don't sleep very well. So then I stay up even later to try and literally get the point where I'm in exhaustion.
Yeah.
And then I'm hoping that when I go to bed, then my head's going to hit the pillow and I'm going to be out. But then that doesn't always happen as well, because sometimes I can be knackered when I'm downstairs, go to bed, minute hits my pillow and the brain goes, woo, I'm here.
Like one cheek, 2 feet, kangaroo, cow, moose. It's like, oh no, what's going on? Just let me sleep.
So
got to remember do this in the morning, isn't it?
And it's a nightmare. And of course, you can't control that.
No, so you start thinking, I'll do that.
It's the switching off phase. It's really, I find really hard. So
that's it.
But yeah, so I agree with you with trying to do the exercise bit in the morning.
I think it's just being strict and blocking out that diary whenever it may be. Even if you start with just an hour a week. Where maybe a Wednesday lunchtime at 12 o'clock, whatever it may be, for anyone watching, just try and find that one start point, whether it's half an hour, even just driving to the gym, sitting in the car park for 5 minutes on your phone and doing it again. Just try and get into something close and just build yourself up to it. You don't have to go straight in and go 5 days a week.
No.
You just try it and walk to the gym one day and walk back. You've accomplished, you've been for a walk. It's just going to the gym. You've got some fresh air, you've cleared the mind. But I think for us as business owners, you've got to be strict with some time away from the business. I'm a sucker for it. I don't do it.
I'm a nightmare for it at a minute.
For ages to, councillor said, block that time out. Block the time out. Jobs come in. Quotes need doing. I'll just put the quote in. I'm not doing nothing then.
And it's every time you block it out as well, isn't it? Every time we block something out, something crops up. Like every time we get in front, something crops up.
Yeah.
Like you with your bloody van and stupid lads the other week. It's like, you've just got in front. I just paid my van off, like, what was it, 3 months ago, 2 weeks after I'd paid it off, the bloody cam belt slipped on it. Shattered the end, and I'm like, hang on, I've just been paying that off for the past 4 years. What's going on here? 3,800 quid to redo it. I'm like, hang on, no, it's gone to Knacker's yard.
Yeah.
So every time we get there,
I do feel that. I just, and I do get that. I think, I say to some people, the old phrase is, must have been wicked in a previous life, because it does feel that always something to kick you back down.
Always.
And like you say, you get 2 steps ahead of yourself, and you finally get that reprieve where you go, do you know what? We're all right in the minute.
Yeah, I can breathe this week.
I can breathe a bit, and you can think it, and within the day or the following day, it's like, boom, something's dropped out and just smacked you back down. And you're like, why? What the hell?
What have we done to deserve it?
Give us a break. But you do feel constantly to be dragged back down. So, I do find like positivity it's hard to keep sometimes. You do have to have those couple of low days to refocus yourself, pull yourself back in, and then go again. Which obviously, I suppose if they say look after yourself and maybe get a break, you might be a bit more positive on a general basis, or keep yourself, don't let it get on top of you and get rid of it.
Most of the emotions we feel are down to like 5 things: hunger, angriness, loneliness, tiredness, or feeling sad. And they can all be fixed, remedied quite easily throughout the course of the day. Make sure you eat, make sure you drink, make sure you connect with people. If you are stressed, just take 5 minutes and learn to pause in our day. Someone stresses out, just shut your mouth for a second, even if it's a split second pause or a 10-second pause, just take that time, and then shit changes quickly when you start doing that.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It does. Bloody hell. Well, we'll give that one a good chewing.
Yeah, we give it all a good chewing.
Nice.
Poor like wet white Will got chewed off before.
He got wiped down, he did.
I think we could probably sit here all day talking about that, to be honest, going with different ways and different things. But it's a strong subject to talk about for a lot of people on the trade, so it's good coverage.
Yeah, and that's it. That's all we touched on it. So if people watch it, maybe even watching this will help people. If you're going through it, you're not alone. We're all going through it. ups and downs. So yeah, reach out and talk to somebody.
Yeah, don't sit there and
Don't
suffer
sit
in
there and
silence.
don't sit there and suffer in silence. Absolutely, just reach out. Somebody will either be going through what you've been going through at the same time, or already been through it and have come out the other side. So
Yeah.
Can we drop a number at the bottom of these podcasts, Jessie? Yeah. So I'm quite happy for anybody that is struggling. I'll pop my number at the bottom of the podcast at the end of it. By all means, drop us a WhatsApp message anytime, day or night, and yeah, we'll give you down, point you in the right direction if need be.
yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Get on, Phil.
Yeah.
I'm there with you as well, so yeah, we're here to help each other.
Yeah,
That's what it's all about.
Well
Yeah.
done, lads. Thank
chuck
you.
it in then, get it in, and then we'll add the we better add the proper one in as well.
Yeah.
So if we chuck in AA,
Yeah, we'll
today,
drop in
it's
NA.
still AA, isn't it? Can we, if
NA.
we drop in AA helpline
NA and
number,
CA, yeah,
maybe a
definitely.
Samaritans helpline. That'd be pretty cool. So yeah, anybody needs any help or any speaking, ring someone, speak to them. Hope it helps. So we'll go on to a little bit more positivity now.
I was just going to say, to some people, these helplines may seem a bit like Marmite, which might drag us onto your next topic. I love them or hate them.
or what might well.
Yeah, that's the one.
So we're going to do a little bit of nicknames. So we're going to come up with some nicknames that people have made up for people on site, and we'll see what people think and if we can relate to them, I suppose. So who wants to start? Who's going? Anybody? Go on.
I'll have a start then.
Go on then. What you got?
We got seaweed. So it floats around all day and stinks like shit.
Yeah, man, I like that. We'll have some of that.
I'm not saying anything, but I used to know an electrician like that. It's not Jessie. Don't worry.
What about deck chair always folding under pressure?
That's it. Yeah, my operations manager, Dan, is we call him Foreskin because he always disappears when things gets hard.
Oh, I like that one. I've got to use that tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I suppose, like Will, you could sort of say he was. You could also call him Daisy, really, because some days he was there and some days he weren't.
Fair enough. Oh, man.
Got a bit of E.T., always wanting to go home.
Usually the minute they turn up.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Got the G-spot. Yeah, you can never find it. Well,
that only works
I'm not letting that. Anyway, we'll leave that one where it is. That's another podcast discussion. That after 10 p.m. only, though.
To be fair, I think most of these are covering for my apprentice.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
I quite like MasterCard because he's always taking credit for somebody else's work. Which is quite a good one.
Yeah, my last labour should have been lantern. Not very bright at all. Do you know what I mean? But I hope.
Yeah, the wheelbarrow only works when he's pushed.
Yeah. I suppose that's the apprentice there, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, that's
They're
it.
all over.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, 'cause
Cat, always on a break.
always on a break. Cat,
Like
yes,
it.
like it.
Yeah, the apprentices and labourers are like butter knives, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Chocolate teapot.
There you go.
Yeah, you could almost relate him to being cordless, couldn't he? He's on charge all night and he does 2 hours work the next day.
I like that.
Arthur half a job.
Yeah. Half a daily.
Oh, so yeah, that's it.
I was just going to say, unless you're using Milwaukee, then their batteries last more than 2
They
hours.
do.
Got to get the plug in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sponsorship.
If you're not going to do it, I'll do it for you.
Hashtag Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah.
Working on it.
M18 5AH.
Yes, any freebies that want demoing, please send.
Don't want to take the CT one off the ball builders now, do we, boys?
No. Well, you can't do stuff with that anyway, can you?
No, it's crap. Oh, no.
It's not red and black, is it, to start with?
I better go for the black and yellow then, get it out of the vault.
Oh, yeah. Did you just swear then, did you?
I did.
Nothing wrong.
Awful.
Black and yellow.
There's a song there somewhere, isn't there?
It's time for the challenge. we will be doing the fastest driver in the West. Yeehaw! Go on, you can do a yeehaw.
Yeehaw!
That's the stuff. That's the stuff. We're going to get set up and we'll be back in a minute. Right, welcome back. We're here for the fastest driver in the West. Can I get a yeehaw? Yeehaw! Excellent, brilliant. Right, so we're going to be racing each other. We can clearly see a lot of red and black today. So I think Milwaukee have got this in the bag. So we'll just see who comes out on top. So everybody, starters positions. Oh, by the way, I'm using the drill because somebody forgot their impact driver. But we'll see, all right? Everybody in? Yep. Ready? Right, Izzy, count us down.
3, 2, 1, go.
Who was it?
Me. Yeah.
Did you get it or not? I don't know, I was pretty quick, I couldn't see, I know he flew down.
Stopped and then it went.
I stopped and he was still going.
To be fair, I think he had a shorter screw, from being honest.
Well, he's got half of his missing, look. Let's go straight through the hole.
That's why.
Did we get a time? Right, that's it, challenge over. As we said before, Milwaukee is the winner. But we'll double check the table at the back to see who was the quickest and see how it's going on. So let's have a look. So today's event, as we can see, I'm still at the top. Woohoo! And today's winner is Jessie from All Solar Works. Well done, Jessie. Well done to that winner. Second place. To be honest, I didn't think anybody was going to get close to the 1.69, but Jessie's not far off at all at 1.74. So well done, Jessie. I still get to keep the trophy for now, but obviously we've got another 2 podcasts to get through before this competition ends. We'll see if anybody can take the title from me. We're now at the end of the podcast for this session, so I hope everybody enjoys it. We've actually touched on some real good stuff today, so obviously please, if you do need any help, give the numbers a ring at the end. But I'd like to thank everybody for their time because obviously these lads are here. I'm not paying them to be here. They're taking it out of their own time. It's their hit for the privilege of coming on the show. So I'd just like to say thank you for everybody for coming. It means a lot, obviously, one, to support me a little bit. We're trying to build up the brand and the podcast. But obviously, thank you for coming.
Definitely, Stu. Thanks for the invite, mate. It's been a pleasure.
It was good. It was a good experience.
Everybody here. We're SM Home Improvements and Maintenance. Thank you. See you next time.
So, if I share everything that needs doing, you can see what you think.
Is your husband in, madam?
No.
Good.
It's just that dripping tap.
Look at that, Lance. Look at this tiling here, madam. Just come off in my hand. I mean, whoever put this tap in, it's leaked. It's all damp, whole thing.
Whole thing will have to be redone.
Take a look outside, Lance.
Yeah, there is an outside.
Whole thing will have to be repointed.
Whole thing will have to be redone.
Basically, madam, if you want to stop this tap leaking, what we're going to have to do is knock these walls down, RSJ them, new stud work, re-plaster, rip up the floor, put in a semi-permeable membrane, knock down your entire house and start again from scratch.
Whole thing will have to be redone.
And it's all because of the joker, the comedian who put that tap in. I mean, who done that?
Who done that?
Who done that?
Who done that?
Who done that? Because whoever done that, they want to be chucked out of the Builders Guild.
You want to sue them?
Shoot them more like. What do you want to do to them, madam? You want to string them up?
Nah, stringing them up's too good for them, Lee. What you want to do, right? You want to buy them an ice cream on a really hot day, right? And hide some slugs in it.
I mean, who done that? Because whoever done that, madam, you want to knock their teeth out with a hammer and set fire to their pet rabbits, don't you?
Yeah. You want to send them back to the age of the dinosaurs and see what a velociraptor would make of their dodgy plumbing.
I'll tell you what you want to do, madam. You want to get my mate Grip around, here's his number, and get him to put lighted matches under the geezer's fingernails and carve Gripper in his forehead with a razor blade.
Yeah, or better still, right, go round his house and paint all his light bulbs black.
So when he turns them on, it actually goes darker and he bumps into his Or better still, right, go round his house and trick him into contravening Article 73 of a UN security resolution so that he incurs the wrath of the world's major military powers.
You want to burn him alive, bury him alive, or in some other way kill him alive.
You want to momentarily distract his attention and gob in his lasagna.
I mean, who done that? Who done that? Who put that tab in? Who done it? It wasn't us, by the way, was
No.
it?
It was my husband.
Right, I see. So what you want us to do is to knock down your house, totally rebuild it, and savagely murder your husband. I think...
Yeah, any chance for a cup of tea?
8 sugars for me, please, my love.
12 for me, please, darling.
15 for me, please, sweetheart.